Archbishop football team. We'll set up the starting lineups for you for both clubs as soon as play is underway here on this glorious Sunday afternoon. And we're glad you could join us on your source for local sports, Comcast Cablevision Channel 7. Archbishop Wood has won the toss, and they will receive. And McDevitt will put that fired-up defense in right away. We can look for Archbishop Wood.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like everyone at this time to please stand and join in singing our national anthem.
And we'll get into today's starting lineups right after the playing of our national anthem. Okay, we are back on a rousing, spirited Sunday afternoon, a beautiful autumn afternoon on Comcast Cablevision Channel 7, your source for local sports today. Relevant and exciting Catholic League Northern Division play between a fired-up Archbishop Wood Viking Club and the Lancers of Bishop McDevitt, who this year doesn't seem to make too much of a difference who their opponents have been. They're very exciting.
They sure are, Dan.
All right, Mark Diano, number 42, McDevitt's all-purpose back, will assume the kickoffing chores as usual for the Lancers. Diano is very similar to that player from Upper Moreland High School, Scott Lair. Does basically everything that you could want a young high school football player to do. Very sound as McDevitt's defense is, their offense is. And going back deep for Archbishop Wood is number 33, that's Frank Mayer.
Number 33, Frank Mayer, and number 23, 27, Chris Missoula.
All right, that's Chris Mazzullo back there with Frank Mayer deep, looking for Diano's kick. And we are just about to get underway here on a big game in that Catholic League. McDevitt in first place and Wood chasing the Vikings. Diano gets the big right leg under it and gets it away. Picking by Frank Mayer on his 10-yard line. He's up to the 15, weaving in his way out and makes a nice return. Comes up over the 30, and Glenn, Frank Mayer showing some good moves right out of the gate.
Absolutely, Dan. He moved up the line, got about 15 yards on that run. It was real nice.
Okay, getting set now. We'll look at the Archbishop Wood offense. At quarterback, number 11, Danny McCormick. The backfield will be number 32, Tom Long, number 22, Joe Catalano, number 33, Frank Mayer. This is what we call the wishbone offense. We'll see a lot of runs today. There's a handoff up, a fumble, and it looks like Wood hung on, and they did. So the first play from scrimmage, not very effective for the Vikings of Archbishop Wood. And Glenn, a team like Wood who has struggled to get where they are, and they're a good club now, early turnovers could kill them.
Absolutely.
Along the play, 2nd and 12.
All right, it'll bring up 2nd and 12 for the Archbishop Wood Vikings under Coach Joe Franchella, and he's done a whale of a job this season. And there's Mayer trying to get outside, and he does for good yardage, and he's bumped out of bounds up around the 40-yard line. That's not enough for first down yardage, but Frank Mayer made something out of nothing.
That was real good footwork.
If we could, number 69 on that offensive line for Archbishop Wood. His name is Ed Wenger. And sooner or later, if we can get a shot of number 69 in black, he is a big boy. He's the biggest player on the field. It's 10:53 remaining here in the opening quarter. We're glad you could join us on your source for local sports, Comcast Cablevision. We've got Dan McCormick handing off, and there's another fumble, and I think the Lancers of McDevitt has one, and they do. So there's that turnover Glenn Kravitz and myself were speaking of in the early going, and McDevitt will get that fired up offense onto the field after the defense come up with the big play.
That was Ed Harkins on the turnover, Dan.
And you see the ball pop loose and nothing but white shirts around it. And who was that on the Glenn?
That was Ed Harkins.
Eddie Harkins?
Eddie Harkins, number 73.
That was a good play, Ed Harkins. Now, Tommy Taylor's at the front set for the Bishop and McDevitt Lancers, and they're on about the 39-yard line. And Taylor's crunched on the first play by number 55 for Archbishop Wood, Mike Moore, the big junior defensive end. And Taylor felt the heat right away.
Eric Young couldn't handle that pass. It had to be thrown a little bit quick and low. Number 1, Eric Young, excuse me, Dan.
Okay, it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Lancers of Bishop McDevitt. We'll set them up for you. They have quite an exciting team. Of course, it's Tommy Taylor is the quarterback, and after this play, we'll set them up for you on Channel 7. 10:35 remaining first quarter. Taylor wants to put the ball up, and he's looking out in the screen. He's got Kevin Green and blockers. Green down to the 30, to the 25, twists his way down to the 21-yard line. Kevin Green on a reception in the flat out from Tommy Taylor. Chuck Purcell, number 24, on the stop for Wood, but that was a big play. They're going to spot the ball at about the 21 or 2.
21-yard line.
Now look at Taylor fading back here. He has time to throw, and that's a set play to Green. And big number 77, nice block there that gave him an extra 7 or 8 yards.
He had plenty of blockers around him on that run.
You're not kidding. That was Ronald Arden, number 71. And there's a flag down immediately as Taylor wants to put up the bomb. He's got his man in the end zone. The ball is caught, but I don't believe it's called a touchdown. But we'll have to see. That flag goes down in the holding area, Glenn.
It sure does.
Preliminary is backfield in motion.
Well, it's not. It'll be backfield in motion. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. But, Glenn, what does that do to a coach to have a penalty like that when you're knocking on the door?
To see a touchdown have to be called back, that's a heartbreaker.
Okay, so it'll bring up a 1st down and 15 for Bishop McDevitt. They're still well within striking distance, but that penalty slows the Express a little bit. Tommy Taylor's the quarterback, Kevin Green, Michael Thomas, Mark Diano. They'll all see time lugging the pigskin from the backfield set. They're in the power eye right now. Taylor wants to throw, blindside, he gets it up to Eric Young. It's intercepted by Archbishop Wood, and that ball is returned to about the 25-yard line.
And that was Bob Schiffler who made the interception on that.
That's Steve Marcino, I believe, Glenn, number 12 for Archbishop Wood. And we'll see on the replay here, Taylor's just about to be blindsided. I don't know if that pass was ticked or not, but that is, I believe, number 12 for Wood, Steve Marcino with that interception, and now Archbishop Wood is back in business. Those numbers are tough to make out with the gray against the black.
Yeah, they really are, Danny.
Okay, first play from scrimmage. A nice running play to Catalano. Joe Catalano over the right guard area, and he's up to about the 34-yard line, pickup of about 6.
Kelly, and number 34.
We'll call it 5, 2nd down and 5 from the 30.
Ball's on the 31-yard line.
Call it the 31-yard line.
2nd and 4.
And there's a big wind blowing against Archbishop Wood at this point. Mark Diano, in this half anyway, would be able to use that at his advantage. And there's a nice handoff to
McCormick on the keeper, tripped up by number 10.
quarterback McCormick, tripped up. Big stop made there by Peter Merlini, number 10 for Bishop McDevitt. Bring up a 3rd and 1, Glenn, and here's a chance out of the wishbone. Look at the crowd today. Big crowd here.
Grandstands are almost packed here.
And the atmosphere is exciting as we're sitting right directly behind the Archbishop Wood Viking bench here at William Tennant High School in Warminster, Pennsylvania. 3rd down and 1. The call is a dive play to Frank Mayer, and I feel like he's got that 1st down.
He got the extra yard.
Got by number 55.
They're calling in for a measurement here.
Well, looking at the at Wood so far, Glenn, in that wishbone, they like to run. They're trying to establish the ground game.
They have to really keep this this game on par for themselves. It's good.
Now McDevitt, on the other hand, is a wide open passing team, And they have receivers like Eric Young, naturally, out on the flat, and Timmy Agnew, a good tight end that they utilize effectively. So we come for measurement. Ball is in the vicinity of the 36-yard line. And Wood got that first down by a little more than the length of the football. There's 8 minutes and 41 seconds left. Ken Gerson along with Glenn Kravitz. And there's Joe Franchella pacing the sidelines. Okay, first down and 10 for the Vikings. Danny McCormick. He's an option. He's going to put it up, but he puts up the air ball that's dangerous, but it's still caught by Billy Burke, number 3, on a fine catch, and that'll be good enough for a first down yardage. There's a flag on the play. We'll have to see what the call will be, and it's back in that holding area.
That's a shame, Dan.
Archbishop
Wood. Bob. Sorry, Dan. I was Bob Smith on the reception there, but call it back.
Okay, he's got lots of time, McCormick, to pass, but he just flutters it up there. Give Burke some credit for Billy Burke for a great catch. It'll be called back, so can't be first down and 10. It's got to be at least
brings up first and 16.
First and 16 from the 31 or 2 yard line.
Mayer on the carry.
Frank Mayer for very little yardage. He lost one on that.
Number 47, Tim Moore.
Timothy Moore on the stop for the Lancers, and the Lancers defense looks kind of fired up here so far, Glenn.
They have to be, Dan. It's a tough game they're playing.
Catholic League Northern Division. And we'll get to those standings in the Catholic League just to give you an idea. Glenn will have those for you shortly on just how tough this division is, and flags down everywhere. And this will probably be a movement call against Wood. And Glenn, exactly how close are those standings in the Catholic League Northern Division this year? It looks like a real dogfight.
Well, we got 3 teams tied for first place, Dan. We've got Bishop McDevitt, Archbishop Ryan, North Catholic, all 5-1. 5-1, Dan.
And Wood's right there behind him, knocking on the door.
5-2.
This is a big game for both teams today.
Sure is.
Second and 23.
Second and 23 now for Archbishop Wood. And in a moment, we'd like to congratulate you, Glenn Kravitz, on
the birth of my niece.
That's correct. That's Frank Mayer up for about 2. It'll bring up third down and a mile, and we would like to say a Comcast hello to Brad and Stephanie Kravitz and their lovely new addition, Jamie, just born a little while ago. Comcast viewers in the Abington area, congratulations, Brad and Steph.
We love you.
And you're a proud uncle.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, it'll bring up third down and about 21 yards for Archbishop Wood, and there's movement again, and Frank Mayer didn't look like he did anything, and we may have drawn an offside call here from McDevitt. We'll see. No, wrong again.
Teacher preliminary against the Vikings.
All right, so it's movement against Wood, and that'll make it 3rd and 26. And Glenn Kravitz, do you remember the old third down quick kick?
Yeah, I do, Dan. That goes back a while, but I do remember it.
How about in this situation? 3rd and 26, and they're almost touching the goalpost.
Well, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't go ahead and give it a shot.
Okay, it's 3rd down and 26. The ball spotted on about the 24-yard line. Danny McCormick probably going to put the ball up, 3rd and long. He wants to run. He puts it up. He has a man open, and it's caught. It will only get them back to the original line of scrimmage. That looks like Billy Burke out there on the right sideline, and it was number 3. But that's not, we'll have, now McCormick does well sprinting to his right. He throws a good pass that only Burke could have caught, but it's a good 11 yards shy of the first down. So we'll bring on the punter for.
Steigerwald back deep to punt for the Vikings.
That'll be Steigerwald, the punter for Archbishop Wood. He gets a good snap, handles it, and puts up kind of a flip-floppy kick that takes a definitely Archbishop Wood Viking bounce and comes to rest at about the 33-yard line. Now the Lancers. So far, it looks like a lot of frustration offensively for both teams, Glenn.
Yeah, they haven't been able to move the ball too well.
Now we'll set up the Bishop McDevitt team for you. All along that big front line, Timmy Agnew's a tight end, Ronald R. John, Michael Culp, Dan McCarthy, William Henry, and Steve Morris. That's that up front line for the Lancers of McDevitt. We'll try and isolate as we go along. There's big Kevin Green with running room, and Green busts up for about 4 or 5. Strong runner, number 21.
He got about 4 yards on that run.
And it's great that Bishop McDevitt decided to change to dark numbers this year. It was really difficult in those past seasons here on Channel 7 when they'd wear those white uniforms with the light yellow numbers.
Yeah, it was hard to pick up on the numbers.
We got Hawk Kravitz in the booth today, folks, who's got 20/20 vision. A spotter's dream. 2nd and 6 for McDevitt. And looks like Green wanted to toss the option, but instead he's got running room and he's off to the races. Kevin Green down to the 20, 30-yard line, 32-yard line. Big running play for number 21, Kevin Green, the senior running back out of McDevitt.
Took that bounds on the 36-yard line.
Ball's on the 36, and here's Green just bobbing and weaving, picking his way. Gets knocked out of bounds at about the 37, 36-yard line. 1st and 10 Lancers, and they're knocking on the door again.
Well, they finally started to establish their ground game, Dan.
Why not? It's working very well thus far. And they do. They run right up the middle. That's Thomas. Michael Thomas, the other tailback, when Green decides to get a breather. And Mike Thomas is also very exciting, Glenn. He can run with the ball. He knows what to do once he gets it.
2nd and 6.
Steve Morris, number 78 on that line, that offensive tackle for McDevitt. There he is. We're looking right at him. He is big boy, the right tackle, but they're running left side with Green. There's a hole, and he scats through it, and Kevin Green gets close to a 1st down at around the 25-yard line, 26-yard line.
Yeah, he picked up a good 5 or 6 yards on that run, Dan.
And he gets the 1st. They'll move the sticks. We'll spot the ball on around the 24-yard line. Kevin Green just cutting back a la Wilbert Montgomery. In recent games, he has not shown that flashing style that has earned him 2nd-team honors on the Catholic League last year anyway. He's a fine runner, Kevin Green, number 21. 1st and 10 from the 24 for Bishop McDevitt. And they look like they mean business here in this opening quarter. They hand off to Thomas just over center, and he gets about 2.
Stop by number 77, Mike Hendricks.
Michael Hendrickson on the stop, number 77, big lineman for Archbishop Wood. 2nd down and 8 play, and 2nd down and 8. A lot of options, Glenn.
They could run with the ball. They could take it up and put it in the air. They've got plenty of, they only have a little bit of yards space left, Dan. Get to the goal line.
All right, 2nd down and 8 for the Lancers. Tommy Taylor in charge. And he's looking deep
to the air.
And he's got wide open in the end zone, number 86 for McDevitt.
Tim Agnew, 88, Dan.
Timmy Agnew, number 88. That's the tight end, and that's a 27-yard touchdown pass, and that comes at 8 minutes and 42 seconds, and we'll look on the replay. Taylor wobbles it up, but Agnew didn't have anyone within 2 zip codes of him, and that's a score. Tim Agnew from Tom Taylor. And it's now 6-0, and Mark Diano will come on to make the point.
And he's got the extra point.
7, Vikings nothing.
And our score is 7-0. There's a timeout on the field with 3:18 remaining. And the score, Bishop McDevitt 7, Archbishop Wood zip. But Wood looks fired up, Glenn. They don't look like they're going to let that touchdown affect them that much. They'll come out and just do their game. They can run the football. And McDevitt's either very good against the run or they'll let up some yards. So
they wouldn't be where they are right now with a record of 5-2.
And a tough division, too. The Catholic League North throughout Philadelphia and its suburban vicinity has always been a tough division to win in. This is an exclusive sports presentation of your sorts for local sports. Comcast Cablevision Channel 7. Okay. Okay, Martiano set to tee it up once again. So a really good drive for the Lancers of McDevitt. That consumed a few minutes on the old clock. And they've got the lead now, and Diano has the wind at his back. So let's see if he really booms one this time, and he does.
Sure does.
Way back into the end zone and out. Taken by Frank Mayer, and he's strung out, but he gets away along the left side. He's got a block, and there should be a face mask call, and there's the flag. Mayer up to about the 38-yard line, and he was just wrestled down to the ground on a face mask call there. So the Archbishop Wood Vikings will start this drive out in excellent field position.
He cut that corner and ran up the line, up the sideline real well.
And we'll set up Archbishop Wood for you. They'll have really good starting position here.
Putting the ball just inside Lancer territory.
All right, the tight end is Tommy Melman. The left tackle's Rob Scott. The left guard is Greg Shuck. Terry Doherty's the center for this Archbishop Wood team. Ed Wenger, the right guard. Leo Crowther, the right tackle. And that's the guys up front who do the job for Archbishop Wood. There's Catalano, loses about a yard on that running play. It'll bring up second down and 11. Ball is spotted around midfield. Or actually just shy of midfield. Catalano lost the yard on that play. Second down and 11. There's the Archbishop Wood Vikings on the bench. Okay, there's a handoff up the middle and nothing doing. Back maybe to the original line of scrimmage is Joe Catalano once again, number 22. And nothing doing there. Those Lancers of McDevitt are stubborn thus far in the early going.
3rd and 10.
Okay, McCormick sprinting, passes out, has a man wide open, Billy Burke, and it's very close to a first down. We'll see where the ball is spotted. It may be a little short.
That was the Bill Burke. It's real close.
Timmy Kelly on the stop for McDevitt, and it is going to bring up a 4th down and about a yard. And what are your options here, Glenn Kravitz? 4th and 1.
Well, look, they got to kick it at this point.
They're on the just shy of the 40-yard line. We'll call it the 41. 1:37 left here in this first quarter. McCormick on the keeper, and he gets first down yardage, and that'll take him down to the 40.
First down, Vikings.
So the Vikings sustaining a drive here in the first quarter. 1:28 remaining. There's a timeout on the field. No, the clock has started up. With the score, Bishop McDevitt 7, Archbishop Wood no score, but Wood is trying to sustain a drive here early on. Danny McCormick has Catalano and Mayer. Fires out, wide open. And he was trying for Tom Melman, the tight end, number 14, out in the right flat. But he just overthrew him, and there was Wood's best passing chance thus far. Okay, it'll bring up second down and 10 now. McCormick.
He's got a long pass here.
Billy Burke.
And he's got it.
He's got it. What a touchdown. What a great grab. Billy Burke. A 40-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Dan McCormick. And number 3 really did the job.
No, he's at the 3, Dan.
Oh, he's not
Just
in.
didn't quite make it in.
Okay. And here we see him let go, and Burke in traffic. Makes the big catch, and we're calling first and goal at the 4-yard line. And that was a 37-yard pass from McCormick. And here's on the carry. McCormick doesn't get too far. Gets down to about the 2. Maybe the 1. We'll see where the ball's spotted. Hard to see from this vantage point. Let's call it no gain then.
No gain on the play.
So it'll be second and goal from the 4. Archbishop Wood knocking on the door now. So it's I can do it, you can do it. And we're winding down to the end of play here in the first quarter. It's 7-0 McDevitt, but it doesn't look like it's going to be 7-0 for much longer. Archbishop Wood is driving. Dan McCormick with Joe Catalano and Frank Mayer in the backfield with him. He hands off the left side there. Does not get in.
Mayer on the carry.
Frank Mayer, and he's stopped there by number 22 for Bishop McDevitt.
Lorenzo.
That's Francis Lorenzo. And Francis really put the big stick on him there on the 2-yard line. Good hit by Lorenzo.
It sure was.
And Glenn McDevitt inside the 5. Okay, there is no more time left on that clock, and play has come to an end of the first quarter with the score. Bishop McDevitt 7, Archbishop Wood nothing, but Wood is knocking on the door when we come back right after this Channel 7 timeout.
More than 100 major local corporations that know everyone benefits from the use of minority suppliers. Learn how you can expand your resource base. Call the new Pindell Regional Minority Purchasing Council at 215-561-4818.
Okay, we're back, and we'll see this little hit there by Frankie Lorenzo, who really puts the stick on Frank Mayer. And I'm sure they'll meet many more times this game. He won't forget that one.
Oh, absolutely.
Glenn, do you think they put a different kind of defensive formation in there when they're inside the 5-yard line than normal defensive?
It looked like it. Yep.
Okay, play just underway. This will be the first play of the second quarter. First quarter ended 7-0. There's a pass up looking for Tommy Melman. There was contact in there, but the referees look on impassively. Do not throw the flag, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 5 now from the 5-yard line. Oh, 4th down and 5. So in comes the field goal kicker, I would think. 4th down and 5.
Field goal kicker still there. He's standing at 86.
Okay, so it looks like a gutsy move by Joe Franchella early on. It appears that they're going to go for a touchdown. But first, Danny McCormick wants to check a few things over, as does Tom Melman for the Archbishop Wood Vikings. So they expend the first of their 3 allotted timeouts here with 11:57 remaining in the first half, and the score McDevitt 7, Wood nothing. And a lot of big plays thus far. This has been a pretty wild game for 7-0.
They've had a couple of good running plays. They've had a couple of good passing plays. It's going to be an interesting afternoon here.
Glenn, if you're the coach, what are you telling him other than Lee's Hokies after the game?
Well, Dan, I think I tell him to go for the long bomb. I think they got to make up some ground here. 5 yards, just won't do it.
Well, they're on the 5. It's 4th down and 5. Critical call coming up. And we're going to see the long bomb from the 5-yard line. He's going to throw it to us. That would be a long bomb from where
That would be a bomb.
Don't watch it at cheerleaders. Now let's support them with the 50-50 that's going through the stand.
There's that offensive formation of the Archbishop Wood Vikings.
The proceeds will be going for new uniforms for the girls. So let's get behind them.
And this crowd seems to be a predominantly Archbishop Wood crowd here today. They want to see the Vikings put the ball in. And McCormick, he's running. There's a flag down. He doesn't get in. And it looked like in the vicinity of holding, so we'll have to see what the call is. If that's a holding call, that would be a crippler against the Vikings. 11:51 remaining in the half. And we've got a player down and hurting. A player behind Bishop McDevitt will try and get a number. It's holding against the Vikings. So that'll back them up 10 on 4th down. So I think we'll see number 86 come into the game. Dave Lawal, the place kicker. Oh, that's right. Is that a... Okay, so they won't see the field goal kicker. McDevitt will just assume possession of the ball. Down there on the 5-yard line, so they've got to be conservative down here. And you expect the Lancers to be running with the ball in this situation on their own 5?
I don't know, Dan. To make up some ground, I think I'd pass.
On 1st down at your own 5-yard line? Okay, that injured player for McDevitt is Timothy Moore, number 47. Timmy Moore's up under his own power, is jogging off the field, and perhaps he'll be back in. You would throw the ball first down and 10 here.
Go for it. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea.
All right, let's see if Pat Manzi, who is by no means conservative, see what he does here. He's got Eric Young will be split out to the top of your screen. He'll be split right, and Agnew will be lined up with Diano tight along the left. They're set up in the power I with Thomas and Kevin Green, the up back. Tom Taylor does hand off, and very little yardage there for Michael Thomas.
Stop by number 2, Bo Schiffler.
Bo Schiffler makes the stop, number 2 for Archbishop Wood, and Michael Thomas had very little running room there. Still
4, 2nd and 6.
Got 4 yards on the play.
Did it look like he went 4 yards?
It didn't look like it because there's no lines on this field, Dan.
And Glenn, that's the beauty of high school football, when there are no lines on the field, and you kind of just have to estimate where the ball is.
Well, we'll do the best we can for our viewers here.
Okay, 2nd down and 6. Taylor hands off to Green, and Green has blockers, and there goes Kevin Green, and he's out.
Around the outside.
Close to a first down. We'll see where they spot the ball.
Stop by number 98, Mike Hirschman.
Now, Mike Hirschman, number 98, made the stop for the Vikings.
First down.
But Kevin Green, or that's not Kevin Green. Here we go. Green is actually blocking, and look at Kevin Green, a great runner, made the big block for Andrew Brown, number 20. And we're back to action here with the score, McDevitt 7, Archbishop Wood nothing, and McDevitt really set the tone with that big defensive stand.
Well, they needed to move upfield, and they needed to move up fast.
And those penalties killed Wood on that last drive. 1st and 10, the ball is spotted on about shy of the 30. And there's Andrew Brown again inside, up to about the 30-yard line. Just shy of the 30. It'll bring up 2nd down and long for the Lancers. And on 2nd down and long, a man that the Lancers haven't even gone to yet, Glenn, is number 42, Mark Diano.
Mark Diano. He was the man in motion on that last play, Dan.
Well, let's see if Mr. Diano will motion himself right into the play on this 2nd down and 6 play. Give Andrew Brown 4 yards on that last carry. 2nd down and 6, the ball at about the 30-yard line. McDevitt looking very secure thus far today. They've got 7 points, and Tom Taylor has a man open, goes out to Agnew, who makes a great catch for another first down. Timmy Agnew, a little bit bigger than the defender, uses those long arms to corral that Tom Taylor pass for a first down. Wow. And here's Taylor. He's got all day. He could set up and have lunch back there, and Agnew just pulls it in. Schiffler on the stop. So the ball looks like it's on about the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 for McDevitt. They're driving, and we have an injured player down there on the field for the Vikings. That was a great play by Agnew, who just used his concentration and got those big arms up there and very securely corralled that pass from Tom Taylor.
He's a tall man. He's a tall man. He just reached up and grabbed it in.
With a guy draped over him, too. That's impressive. But this McDevitt team, impressive would be just one accolade that tossed their way this season. Pat Manzi has those guys fired up. They're 8-1, 5-1 in probably the toughest division anywhere in the city of Philadelphia, the Catholic League North. But then again, Joe Franchella deserves incredible amounts of praise. Bo Schiffler, the injured player, he's coming off wobbly, and it looks like he's favoring that right leg or right ankle. But he seems to be okay, and hopefully he'll be all right and he'll be able to come back today.
He doesn't look too shooken up.
He doesn't look happy either. Bob Schiffler. Called Bo Schiffler. 5'10", 170-pound senior linebacker. Real friendly kind of guy on the field. All right, McDevitt's got a 1st down and 10. Ball spotted on about the 45. 1st and 10. They're in the power I formation, and there's Andrew Brown, and he cuts back with a nice move, and Andrew Brown gets about 7 or 8 yards on a nice move over to left side. There's Mark Diano, one of the co-captains, saying, "Way to go, kid."
Good footwork, good footwork.
There's a look again here. Brown with blocking. Green, Kevin Green again with a great block. That's the 2nd time that Kevin Green has sacrificed his 2nd team all-division player status to be the grunt for Andrew Brown and Kevin Green. Excellent blocking in there. It's 2nd down and 1 now for McDevitt. They can do basically anything they want, but they're still lined up in that running formation. Kevin Green does not get it. He is upended right away, and he'll be short.
Done by Wenger and Hendricks.
Well, they need about 2 yards here, Dan.
And there's the Archbishop Wood Viking defense, who look like the old Minnesota Viking defense on that play. The Purple People Eaters. Number 77, Mike Hendrick, and number 69, Ed Wenger, were in on the stops. It's like a Viking sandwich for Kevin Green. 3rd down and 1 now, and they're in that same, we're going to run it right over right guard formation, and there they go. But there's Andrew Brown cutting it just enough for the first down.
He's got it.
And he is clobbered there by number 98, Mike Hirschman. He really put a hit on Andrew Brown. The big left end for Archbishop Wood. He's a junior, 6'1", 190. He looks like he's about 6'5" and 260, but we'll call it 6'1" and 190.
Oh, he's a big boy.
Ball spotted just shy of midfield on the 48. There's 8 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in this first half, 2nd quarter of play. Dan Gerson along with Glenn Kravitz. As
got a pass.
Tom Taylor going the bomb for Eric Young, or Diano rather, and it's picked off by the Vikings.
Steve Marcino intercepted that pass, Dan, and he just went up, he threw the pass up.
Vikings take over 1st and 10.
And there's Taylor. He has a lot of time. He tries to force it in an area, and Marcino had none of that. He figures it's as much his ball as it is Mark Diano's ball. And they're deep in their own territory. They're back inside the 20.
Ball's on a 19-yard line.
19-yard line, 1st and 10. And this has been a game marred by turnovers. Although it's been a good game, the turnovers had kept McDevitt from getting a larger lead, and it's kept Wood from getting in the game. And there's a handoff right up the middle to Catalano, I believe.
Long on the carry.
Or rather, the new guy, Tom Long.
Double number 50, Panera.
Number 32, Tom Long in there at fullback now. Okay, Chuck Long.
No gain, 2nd and 10.
Okay, 2nd down and 10 for Danny McCormick. He pitches back out wide, and there's a nice cut move there by Catalano on the carry, but he's banged out of bounds by Timmy Kelly, number 15. And Tim Kelly really aggressive on the defense for Bishop McDevitt.
Well, Catalano got 2 yards on that play. We're 3rd and 8.
Looks like they're running that sweep to the right side.
3rd and 8.
And there it is, the option sweep. And 15, Tim Kelly just puts the helmet down and blasts him out of bounds. So that's Antonio Cupid, number 34. Funny thing about Antonio Cupid, we call those hits his love taps.
His love taps?
Yes, it's 3rd down and 8 now. And McCormick somehow gets away and really turns a nothing play into something. He doesn't get the first down. He gets about half of what he needed. But a gutsy play. It'll bring a 4th down. But Dan McCormick really wrestled his way out of death on that particular play.
Well, they had all kinds of men coming in after him, and he had no one open.
And they did say he got the first down. And look at Dan McCormick.
He's
saying I can
scrambling.
run with the ball too, and coaches don't really care much when the quarterbacks take up field like that. That's probably a coach's nightmare, and Joe Franchella probably said thank you. And that's a young quarterback, just a sophomore quarterback. There's a handoff
flag.
up the middle.
Flag
Flag down immediately in the motion end, and that'll be against the Vikings. It'll bring it back 5. Backfield in motion. You know, in the pro game, they call that illegal movement, but backfield in motion.
Like the old song.
I love it. That's the beauty about high school football. It's a game that is unchanged by ego, unchanged by contract, and they really win one for the Gipper out here. It's 1st and 15 now for the Vikings of Archbishop Wood. There's 6:22 remaining here in the first half. 7-0 McDevitt. 27-yard pass play from Tommy Taylor to Timmy Agnew. That made it 6-0 at 8:42 of the first quarter. Mark Diano, as usual, made his PAT. 7-0 is where we stand, and sacked by number 55. Panera, is that Gregory Brigidi for McDevitt. Greg Brigidi on that sack of quarterback Danny McCormick. And we'll look here, and we just see Brigitte say, you're down. It'll bring up second down and
22 here.
half the field. What do you say to the old draw play here, Glenn?
Oh, that'll throw him off.
Do you think they're defending for pass? It sure looks like they are. But McDevitt has 8 guys up on the front, and they're going to bring some heat, it looks like, here on this second down and 22. And there's a long pass. And a great play by Tim Kelly now. Frank Mayer knew he didn't have a chance and threw up his arms to try and deflect Kelly's vision, but Kelly picked it off on the 47-yard line of Bishop McDevitt, and that's where they'll put the ball on play, Glenn, and this was tossed up for grabs.
He threw that about 25, 30 yards, Dan, downfield.
Kelly with those sure, soft like butter hands that a defensive back needs. So it's on the 46. Lancers have the ball. They've got the clock working in their favor, 5:20 and counting down, or 5:20 and holding here in the second quarter. So the Lancers, Tommy Taylor, Kevin Green, Andrew Brown, Mike Thomas, Mark Diano, and company looking to do something. There's a pitch back to Diano, and looks like it's going to go anywhere. And he's tripped up, but Diano gets a couple.
Yeah, that's second effort there, Dan.
Diano with a carry.
It's Mark Diano turning nothing into something.
And number 24, Chuck Purcell.
And there's the Wood offense looking on, trying to wonder when they're going to get their hands back on the pigskin.
A loss of 1 on the play, second and 11.
5:13 left in the first half. And thus far, what looked like it was going to be a wild and woolly one has been a ball control game.
Well, they've been having a lot of turnovers in this game, and too many.
Okay, 5:13 left. Taylor has Agnew wide open, and Timmy drops. And on that play was number 27 for Archbishop Wood, Chris Mazzullo. And Agnew had that one right in his fingertips. And he usually gets those, and there's some of the Archbishop Wood cheerleaders. It'll bring up third down and 11 for McDevitt, and that was a big drop. So Timmy knows he'll see that one tonight. He usually gets that one with no problem. Okay, third down and 11.
He's back to pass again.
And he's airing it out this time. Intended for Mark Diano, but wisely tossed out of bounds because Diano was double covered. There's a flag on the play. It'll probably be against McDevitt, but it'll bring up a fourth down. And Archbishop Wood will now get hold of the football. And they'll probably refuse that and have Diano kick the ball. And not only can Mark Diano place kick, but he's not the shabbiest of punters either. There's Bo Schiffler, limping, but back in the game on defense. I like seeing a guy wearing number 2 wearing a cage.
Oh, it definitely protects his face, really. It's an important part of football.
There's a holding call against McDevitt, and
Holding against McDevitt.
surprisingly, it'll bring up a 3rd and 21.
The 3rd and 21.
And I find that to be surprising, Glenn, that they didn't just refuse the penalty and have him kick. Because it was 3rd and 11, 4th and 11. It would have brought up a 4th and 11 call, but it's 3rd and 21, and a wing left is McDevitt. And Agnew coming down the field, but there's wide open Diano, but
plenty of
there's
pass protection
interference there against number 18. Well, it won't be 18. But I think Diano wasn't interfered with on that, and that'll bring up an automatic first down for McDevitt. Okay, we're informed that it's not. Taylor going back, and we'll have to look for the contact here. And there definitely was after we got in range. But that was pass interference, and it will make up a good chunk of that yardage for McDevitt. And that was kind of a cheesy call. Wasn't that much contact.
Well, Taylor had plenty of time to pass that ball. He had real good protection on that.
Well, it'll bring up 3rd down and 6 now.
Illegal use of the hands against the Vikings.
Oh, no, I think it will be a first down. Automatic first on illegal use of hands.
At the 50.
So it is, right at midfield.
All rest on the midfield stripe.
Just under 5 minutes in the first half, 4:58 remaining. And we're glad you're enjoying this one on your source for local sports, Comcast Cablevision Channel 7. 7-0 McDevitt. They are driving. And they look bad today. They look like they don't want to lose this football game. And Wood's still in it, however. And Kevin Green with big yards rumbles for a first down to the 40-yard line.
Beautiful hole was opened up there. And he went right through it.
What's your impression of Kevin Green, a big number 21?
Oh, he's a strong runner. He's a real strong runner. Look at that. He's got about 15-yard run on that, and he just busts through the line.
And runs over people. It's a good combination. Good speed, and I'll run you down. 4.5 minutes remaining first half. Second and 1, so give Kevin Green 9 on that particular carry. Second and 1, nothing fancy. Kevin Green right tackle, and he's got the first down plus some.
Green on the carry.
And he takes it down to about the 36-yard line. First and 10, McDevitt.
That was a good 5- or 6-yard run also, Dan.
What's that?
That was a real good 5- or 6-yard run.
Well, good enough for the first down, certainly.
Ball rests on the 37-yard line. First and 10.
On the 37-yard line, first and 10 now for McDevitt. No scoring here in the second quarter of a briskly played game that's been plagued by penalties, particularly on the offense. There's an official's timeout now on the field with 4:04 remaining. And they'll start up the old Longines any second now. And there it goes. 4 minutes and under 4 minutes now. First and 10.
In motion is Eric Young.
37-yard line. Kevin Green fumbles, and that is recovered by Archbishop Wood. And Glenn Kravitz, that's the kind of play that can turn it around for the Vikings.
Well, I hope we see this play again here.
Ball recovered by number 21, Kevin Green.
And we'll see what happened here, Glenn, on this particular play. As it looked like Green had the ball, but then said, whoops, and what happened here?
He just lost it, just dropped it, had no control on it.
And that was right there to have, too. So we'll say that one has to lie with old KG. He should hang on to that kind of a pitch back. That looked like Taylor put it right in for him, but he couldn't hang on.
That was Mike Moore, by the way, number 55 for Archbishop Wood that recovered that fumble.
A very happy Mike Moore, because the Vikings are in business. They're on the 46-yard line. First down and 10. Oh, no, McDevitt's still with the ball. I'm surprised that I thought they got it back. And there's Diano, and he's off.
Diano on the carry.
Great play down inside the 30 to the 28. And I must be in Wonderland here, because there's a fine catch by Mark Diano. Another first down for McDevitt, and I would like to know what happened out there. It looked like that.
That makes two of us.
Okay, now here's Taylor. He's got Mark Diano wide open, and that's the play they tried for on the interference that didn't work. And Diano really rumbles to about the 26, 27-yard line. First down and 10. 3 minutes and 6 seconds remaining here in the first half. And McDevitt's trying to put more points on the board. Taylor fakes. He wants to throw. He's got a man open for a touchdown.
Timothy Agnew, number 88.
Agnew again.
Timothy Agnew.
That's the second 27-yard pass.
And there's Taylor. He likes to roll. And he's able to roll left and roll right with mustard. That's a great pass.
That was a beautiful pass to Tim Agnew. He really just laced that right into his arms.
So this has been a Taylor Agnew show thus far today, and it's now a 13-0 game. That score comes at 9 minutes exactly as Agnew puts up the PAT and gets it. Or Diano, rather. There's a timeout on the field with the score. Bishop McDevitt 14, Archbishop Wood nothing.
We have a red Mustang with license number.
And I'll tell you,
K24.
Timmy Agnew made up for dropping that easy one right over the middle just a few plays back.
Nothing like a touchdown.
They left your lights on.
And there you see the score. Today brought to you exclusively on your source for local sports, Comcast Cablevision Channel 7. This is an exclusive sports presentation of Comcast Cablevision. There's the Lancer cheerleaders. Mark Diano is going to kick for Bishop McDevitt. Frank Mayer back deep for Archbishop Wood.
Hey, Matt. Did you lose this?
Catalano back deep with Mayer for Archbishop Wood. Mayer usually handles the ball in the kickoff situation. Ronald Argent shaken up, and he's okay now.
Oh, you have another kind?
First down and 10 as soon as Archbishop Wood. And Glenn, I think they need a big play at this point. They're down 14-0 and struggling.
Well, they got to do something here before the end of the first half. Just a beautiful day out here today. A great day for the players and a great day for the fans.
and even a great day for the announcers. Sit here in a beautiful autumn, wild, woolly, and windy day.
Can't believe it's the second week in November, Dan.
Okay, Deano boots, and it's just a ground ball to shortstop. He picks it up, tosses over the first for the third out. That's number 44 for Wood, running the ball up into good field position.
Ball carried by number 44, Andy Wagaman.
Andy Wagaman on that carry, number 44. And he gets some good field position. So with 2:54 remaining, the Viking offense will be severely tested. They have to get points on the board here.
Ball rests on the 39-yard line. First and 10, Vikings.
And we'll look for Danny McCormick to put the ball up here. They're set up in that wishbone offense. That's a running offense, but I don't think McCormick has much of a choice. He's got the throw. And there's a play with Billy Burke at about the 45-yard line of McDevitt that was just led a little bit too much by Dan McCormick. Otherwise, that would have been a nice completion there. Burke was open, but a frustrated young McCormick there couldn't put it in. Second down and 10. About the 40-yard line. And I bet it's tough when a wishbone running type team has to put the ball up like Wood has to do now.
I thought for sure they were going to go for the run.
McCormick puts it up, and he has his man, but that is
Frank Mayer bobbled the ball.
that'll be
Incomplete. We have a flag on the play.
incomplete pass,
Incomplete.
which is usually a call when it is dropped. And that is number 33, Frank Mayer, who's struggling today. We'll see it, puts it right in there, and Mayer looked like he wanted to run before he had it firmly
We have a
ensconced.
upon the Lancers.
Bring up second and 10. And there's a penalty against Bishop McDevitt. They'll bring it back 5, or bring it up 5 to the 45-yard line. Second down and 5 now for Wood. Second down and 5 for Archbishop Wood. Dan McCormick. He's got Billy Burke down at the bottom of your screen, split wide right. You see his helmet there. It's a keeper by McCormick that goes just for little yardage, and it brings up third and about 4. Third down and 4.
Third and 4.
For Archbishop Wood, and there's one of the Wood coaches, and that looks like a head coach, Joe Franchella. And that's not head coach Joe Franchella. Okay, third down and 4. McCormick wants to throw. He has number 7 out there in the open, Andy Loro. And does the flag go down? It does not go down. And there again, that's a judgment call on the referee's point. There looked like there was lots of contact here, Glenn, as we look.
Well, we see him going back for a pass.
Wearing him like a blanket.
Good play.
Fourth and 4.
Fourth and 4, and I think we'll see the punter come in now for Archbishop Wood.
Yeah, that's Bob
He's
Schiffler.
starting to walk back the punt for the Vikings.
Bo Schiffler going back deep for the Vikings to kick this one. Nice high kick, and that's pretty much what Wood wanted. That's Eric Young back for McDevitt. He fields it on the 25. Jitterbugs up to the 30, and that's about where he goes down. An exciting return, not for many yards, but Eric Young turning on the moves, and it's taken down by
Number 25,
Jim Long for Archbishop Wood. So McDevitt's back in business with 1:52 and up 14-0. When we look for conservative play calling here, chew up some clock.
There's only 1:52 left in this half.
Okay, first and 10 for McDevitt. Be surprised, although Pat Manzi has done crazier things on offense, and there's a deep handoff to Andrew Brown.
what a run.
Look at him go. And he's all the way up the midfield and over midfield into Archbishop Wood territory. Andrew Brown, number 20, big yards. And we look, Brown, it looks like it's on a delayed call here. He waits, and that little scat back, number 20, Andrew Brown, just busted up for well more than what he needs for a first down. And now with 1:35 and counting down, McDevitt probably can get into scoring position here and try and get more points on the board. They've got 14. There's Andrew Brown again over the right side, and that play has been successful, and he's close to another first down, about a yard shy. 9 more yards for Andrew Brown behind the blocking of big Steve Morris, number 78.
He's such a
McDevitt calls
strong
a
runner.
timeout with 1:22. Excuse me, Glenn. Excuse me, Glenn.
That's okay, Dan.
1:22 remaining here in the first half. And Bishop McDevitt's basically having it their way.
They sure do. Second down and 2 yards to go. 22 left in this half.
But I think second down and 1, that'd be a good play to throw the bomb on.
Well, they're this far ahead already, and as long as they don't throw it into the defenseman line's defender's arms, it should be a good play.
Well, if anything, throw it in the end zone over everyone's head. Stop the clock. Although I don't think McDevitt particularly wants to stop the clock here. The ball spotted on about the 40, we'll call it the 41-yard line or so. It's really hard to tell where the ball is spotted, but I'm sure we're within 10 yards.
That looks like we're right at the 41 there, Jim.
Okay, you're watching Catholic League Northern Division football today on your source for local sports, Comcast Cable and Channel 7. Our game, a good game. McDevitt out to a 14-0 lead, and they're trying to get more. It's second down and 1 from the 41-yard line of Wood. Tom Taylor back deep, 15 yards deep. Pitches off to Kevin Green, and Green just shucks one tackler, and he has running room. Kevin Green inside the 30 down to near the 20-yard line. There's a flag usually in the vicinity of holding.
We've got a clipping on Kowaleski, I think, Dan.
Gobbles on that stop, but they're going to bring this one back. Hitting from the rear against Bishop McDevitt. We'll try and see here as Green's running, and there it is. It's on Steve Moss for 78. Big 78 couldn't quite get over there in time, and that's an illegal use of hands. And it'll bring up second down, and let's call it. Should be more than 1. It should be more than 4, but that's what that says there. Second down and 4. Tom Taylor wants to throw. Unbelievable. Timmy Agnew, he had him open again and overthrew him. It'll bring up third down and 4, and Taylor had all kinds of time. Got one in there to Agnew, but that time he just overthrew him by a little. There's Tommy. Tom Taylor, good player, as is this McDevitt team, as is both teams. But Archbishop Wood's on the losing end thus far, 14-0. Third down, 4 yards to go. And this is a good play. Green's in the up back, kind of just give it to the first guy up and just let him bust through there. But instead, they go that sweep right again to Andrew Brown. He cuts back, and look at this run by Andrew Brown. He's inside the 30. Another first down. Great play by McDevitt. Andrew Brown doing what Kevin Green's done so well in the last 3 years. As here, Green's blocking, but Brown just cuts it back. And that is a God-given talent, that cutback ability.
Oh, he found some running room in there, and he just took off.
And there's Rick Stetler, the Jenkintown head coach, sunning his eyes, and there it's up for grabs. Oh. Caught by Marciano. Look at that play, and that will be a reception. And timeout called with 27 seconds left. The Headsy Diano makes the catch, calls up, calls time. He's some kind of player. With 27 seconds left, there's a timeout on the field with the score, Bishop McDevitt 14, Archbishop Wood nada. And look at Mark Diano in that play. Catching the ball, calling timeout.
He was already on the ground, and just when it was deflected, he just grabbed hold of it.
What a sense of mind, though, to call the timeout, knowing that time was running out.
Well, they have a chance to make another score here, Dan.
Well, and another score might put us all to sleep. It's 14-0 in favor of McDevitt. It's been all McDevitt thus far.
Well, that would be devastating Wood at this point if they got if Devitt got another touchdown.
You think it would be?
Oh, I think so. It's a long way to come back against this Bishop team. They're tough. They're real tough.
Are you impressed with them?
Yeah.
They're rated 5th or 6th in the city of Philadelphia, including the suburban schools.
Well,
So,
Wood's got a good record, too, but McDevitt's just been dominating this whole football game.
and, you know, McDevitt last year had a really good streak. They had one bad streak. They had a good streak. They got knocked out by Ryan in the playoffs. Most of you at home saw that one right here on Channel 7. And this year, they sort of have something to prove. They want to take that coveted Catholic League title, and that's quite a crown jewel in Philadelphia high school sports.
Well, they're so good with McDevitt right now. They just have to watch these turnovers.
Okay, 27 seconds left. McDevitt's knocking on the door. Spotted down near the 20, I believe, inside the 20. First and 10, McDevitt. Taylor wants to throw again. He comes out to Kevin Green. He's got it, and he's close to pay dirt. He's down to about the 5-yard line. First and goal now for Bishop McDevitt, and they look unstoppable.
With 18 seconds left,
And
it looks like it's inevitable.
And they called their third and last timeout of the first half. And I don't know, Wood's going to need some kind of break here to keep them maybe at just a field goal at this juncture. If they can prevent the touchdown, that would really fire them up for the second half. Then again, on the other side of the coin, if McDevitt puts it in, and we've given no indication that they're not going to, this could be a real rough 24 minutes for Archbishop Wood coming up.
Absolutely.
Don't forget our cheerleaders are still in their football catches. Let's get behind them.
For all you viewers, this game will be rebroadcast on Monday night, November the 11th at 6 p.m. You can see this on Channel 7, and if you'd like an encore performance, on Tuesday, November the 12th, we'll be on again at 6 p.m. on your source for local sports, Comcast Cablevision, Channel 7. Bishop McDevitt.
Breech ring, O-ring.
Check.
Locking pins.
Check.
Check his hardest.
How long do I have to work on the valve?
20 minutes.
Air supply system check. Hold low down. Non-return valve vacuum check.
Check my bank pressure. Hit it.
Sam Knight is a repairman, but when he goes to work, it's 100 feet underwater. He's a Navy diver. Some of the best people in their fields are working in the Navy. They're men and women who could put their skills and training to work anywhere, but believe being the best means more when it's done for their country.
Okay, it's all set.
Navy know-how. It's working for America.
Okay, we are back for second half action. Bishop McDevitt against Archbishop Wood Vikings. 21-0. McDevitt had everything their way. And they'll also get the ball to start this third quarter as Wood kicks off deep. And back for McDevitt. That looks like that Kevin Green, number 21, and he's got an opening, and watch him go. He's down at about the 34-yard line, 33, 34. Big stop was made by Chris Mazzullo, number 27. And number 14, Tommy Melman. So the Lancers will put the ball in play, first and 10. They have the same formation in there as they did to start the game. Tommy Taylor is at quarterback with Kevin Green, Andrew Brown, and Michael Thomas in the backfield alternating. That's Eric Young, number 1, in motion to the top of the screen. The handoff is to Kevin Green, and he's pounded. Gets only a couple, and at least Wood looks fired up to start this second half. Glenn Kravitz.
Well, they do, but they looked awfully solemn when they came back into the stadium after halftime, Dan.
Well, maybe a couple of big plays will pump them up, and they'll be ready to go.
Well, they know they've got their work cut out for them.
You're not kidding, brother. Down 21 points as we start play here in the third quarter. You're watching an exclusive sports presentation on your source for local sports, Comcast Cablevision, Channel 7. Second down and 8 for McDevitt. They're on the 36-yard line. Pitch back to Kevin Green as they started last game. Green runs wide, and he's going to lose yardage. Big play to take him out of bounds. Pazella and Nazula on the stop, so Archbishop Wood coming up big here in the second half in the very beginning, trying to establish their defense. Here we look on the replay. Green is in the I position, Andrew Brown's in the blocking position now, and Kevin Green just cannot outrun the pursuit.
Well, he still gets about 3, almost 4 yards on that play, Dan. It's 3rd and 5.
All right, 3rd down and 5 for the Lancers of Bishop McDevitt. Play just underway here in the second half. Dan Gerson along with Glenn Kravitz, glad to be bringing you the action. Taylor looking, he's got a man open, Diano, and it's almost picked off. Not quite at the 45-yard line of Wood. He had Diano open, but that one was not to be.
That was a blazer, that pass. Here it is again on our replay.
Good play by Long. That's Jimmy Long, number 25 for Wood on the coverage, and that saved the first down reception. Just a magnificent day here for football. It's windy, it's sunny. It's also daylight. And now back deep for McDevitt is Diano, the punter, and he gets off a beautiful spiral. That comes down and is taken by
Chris Mazzullo.
Chris Mazzullo. Stopped by number 3 for Bishop McDevitt, and that is Chris Young, senior defensive back, on the stop. So now Archbishop Wood, who has to score points, they're going to have a chance to they're going to have to put some points on the board, and they're going to have to do it soon.
$77.
And there's an injured player down there, and is that Kevin Green? Kevin Green is down and injured for Bishop McDevitt, and that will certainly raise the eyebrows of Coach Pat Manzi and this Lancer coaching staff. They can ill afford to lose a player of his ilk.
Oh, they surely don't want to lose him.
This kid can run.
He hasn't even moved yet, Dan. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
Well, maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him, Glenn? Like it was for you in those days at the Germantown Academy?
Well, yeah, we got a lot more than wind knocked out of us, Dan.
Oh, okay. Mr. Kravitz right on cue. And Kevin Green looks like he'll be all right. He leaves the field under his own power, jogging rather briskly. Well, anyway, when we return to play, it's a first down and 10 for Archbishop Wood, and they have the ball on the 43-yard line, first and 10. Let's set up that backfield. That's Dan McCormick, Joe Catalano, and Frank Mayer, and there's a handoff right up the middle. That's McCormick. Did not hand off. He was a keeper. Gets a couple, maybe. See where the ball's spotted. And not a friendly spot for Archbishop Wood. No gain.
No gain on the play.
Second down and 10 from the 43-yard line. And in the first half, it was the Taylor to Agnew special, Air Express, 3 touchdown passes. And there's Catalano with a good stiff arm. Chris Young dumps him out of bounds, actually throws him out of bounds, and Glenn Kravitz, the stiff arm, a very successful ploy by a running back.
Well, not used too much in professional ball, but here in high school, definitely.
And there's Chris Young, made the big stop, and watch his stiff arm that Catalano gives him, and Young says, enough of that, and spills soda all over him or something. Third down and 4. McCormick evades one, and he's going to get the first down and then some, and he's knocked out of bounds by Chris Young at the 38-yard line, and a big run for Dan McCormick, number 11, had nowhere to go and decided to take matters into his own hands and turn it upfield for a big first down. The Vikings are in Lancer territory. And we'll see, he almost gets clobbered there by one of the Lorenzos, I believe, and he just bumped out of bounds there by Chris Young. A great run by Danny McCormick. And on that wishbone, Frank Mayer is sandwiched by number 47 for Timmy Moore. He was injured earlier. It's good to see Tim come back in and make a hit. Jeff Panera, co-captain linebacker, also went on that stop. So it'll bring up second down and 11 for the Vikings of Archbishop Wood, who need to drive, they need points, they need to put the pigskin into the end zone. But not if McDevitt has anything to say about it, because they've shut the Wood offense down cold thus far through 2 1/4 quarters. There's McCormick. He wants to put it up. He's got a man wide open. It looks like Burke. That is Billy Burke, number 3. And he pulls it in. And it's another first down catch to spot the ball shy of the 30-yard line. So the Archbishop Wood Vikings are driving now. This is what they needed, Glenn.
They're starting to move the ball here, Dan, and they need it. They need it bad.
Well, their passing attack, which they rarely use, is really coming to life because that wishbone has netted them very little yardage on the ground thus far. There's 8:22 and counting left in the third quarter. There's a counter play to Frank Mayer, and he's gone. No, great tackle at the 8-yard line.
Got inside the 10-yard line by number 15.
Timmy Kelly. Tim Kelly saved the touchdown on that play.
Well, it looked like Mayer was on his way in, and Kelly just stopped him right before it ran in.
Okay.
About the 8-yard line.
Ball's on the 8, first and goal for Archbishop Wood. That was a big counter play to Frank Mayer. It had not been successful. But that time, Mayer looked like he was pay dirt bound. First and goal from the 8. Danny McCormick has Catalano and Mayer back there with him. He hands off. A counter play to Catalano, and he's in. close. And he's in for that touchdown. Archbishop Wood on the scoreboard here with 4 minutes and 17 seconds gone in the third quarter. Joe Catalano, on an 8-yard run.
Here we see the replay, how he takes it around the side. Just gets in. Well, they really needed that, Dan.
20-6 game now. That's an 8-yard run by Joe Catalano. Dave Lawal, number 80, the place kicker, kicks it up, and he gets it. Good form there by Lawal, the kicker. He kept his head down, concentrated, and split the uprights, and it's now Bishop McDevitt 21, Archbishop Wood 7. There's a timeout on the field. And there's Billy Burke, clutch receiver. Now 20-7 game, and Glenn, we've got ourselves a game here.
Well, McDevitt is a tough team, and Archbishop Wood
turn up your mic.
just needed that touchdown real bad.
You have a headset, you can turn the mic off, right? Watch the side.
Okay. We are
Bring it out now.
21-7 in favor of Bishop McDevitt. As there's a kick by Diano. It's taken.
Zoom it in.
And there's Diano, and look at him go. And he muscles his way up close to midfield.
Diano taking that ball.
Big return for Bishop McDevitt. Mark Diano doing some of his own stuff. That'll be a first down and 10 for Bishop McDevitt.
Stop by number 27, Missoula, and number 43, Tom Wade.
Chris Mazzullo and Tom Wade on the stop. Look at Mark Diano cut up that right side. He's all business once he gets his hands around the ball. Mark Diano. First and 10, 7:32 remaining here in the third quarter. Bishop McDevitt Lancers on top of the Archbishop Wood Vikings by a score of 21-7. And there's Andrew Brown pitching left, cutting back right. Gets good yardage, gets about 6 or 7 of those yards back.
They're a tough team, Dan. They're just moving that ball on the ground real nicely.
Moving it at will. So Wood has to stay tough here on defense. They can't allow McDevitt to gain too much yardage on the ground. They've already got a 14-point lead, and that touchdown had a sting. The Lancers of Bishop McDevitt scored by Archbishop Wood just a moment ago. Second down and 5. We'll give Andrew Brown 5 on that last carry. Second down and 5 from about 45. There's an inside handoff to Brown again. This time he gets to about the 43, gets a couple. Doesn't get a first down, so it'll bring up third down and short yardage. 6:40 and counting down remaining here in the third quarter. Bishop McDevitt has pretty much had things going the way they pretty much want them to thus far today. It's third down and 2 for McDevitt, and we'll see their offense is so diversified. We'll see what they employ here. Tommy Taylor, number 11, the quarterback. Kevin Green in the up back position, as I pitch back to Brown. Brown cuts over the corner, gets the first down, and then some, is knocked out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. And it's another first down for the Lancers of Bishop McDevitt.
That Brown is a great runner, Dan. He picks his spots, his holes real well, and follows through. And if he has to run over a few bodies, he does it.
Yeah, and he's got that really good cutback ability. McDevitt has a first down. First and 10. They look to be on about the 36 or 7-yard line.
That's only 36-yard line.
We'll call it the 36-yard line. 20-7 our score, Bishop McDevitt. There's a pass out to Eric Young. And look at Eric Young. He's another one that knows what to do with the football when he gets it. And that should be good enough for another first down. That picks up about 13 yards. And he's been quiet thus far, Eric Young, in this game. Okay. The Lancers using ball control now. They've got a first and 10, and they're on... they're close to the 20-yard line. Called about the 21-yard line. First and 10. And it looks like Taylor wants to put it up. He's going to be sacked if he doesn't get rid of it. He does, and he's got his man for a touchdown.
It's Young.
And that's Eric Young.
Eric Young.
21-yard touchdown
Young
pass.
on the reception for a Lancer touchdown.
That's Young from Taylor. He beats Jimmy Long on the coverage. And we'll look at this one again. Taylor sets up just before he's hit. A wide open Eric Young, and Long, the defender, saying, oops. That was a tough one. 21-yard touchdown pass. It's now 26-7. Mark Diano will come in for his extra point attempt. The snap is high, but Diano boots it about 50 yards in the air.
The Lancers 28, the Vikings 7.
And it's now within a timeout on the field with 5:19 remaining third quarter. The score is Bishop McDevitt 28, Archbishop Wood 7. And Glenn, it's a little early to be saying icing on the cake, but that was a crushing score by McDevitt.
Well, it's a little bit lopsided at this point, Dan, and Wood's going to really have to do some real good, hard work to come back into this one.
Which means they're going to pass the football. There you see the score, 28-7. Bishop McDevitt leading the Archbishop Wood Vikings. And these games will be broadcast again on Channel 7, Glenn. When are they going to be on?
Monday night, November 11th, 6 p.m., and Tuesday repeated. Tuesday at 6 p.m.
On your source for local sports, Comcast Cablevision. We hope you enjoy these telecasts. We certainly enjoy bringing them to you. Today, Dan Gerson along with Glenn Kravitz. And we're watching Bishop McDevitt do their stuff once again. This team looks like a team that will not be denied this year, but Wood's still in it, and they can put some good ball control together. And Tommy Long with the...
ball taken by number 32, Tom Long.
Long decided to
By number 73,
run that ball up a bit there to about the 29-yard line,
and number 57.
where Archbishop Wood will try and get back, try and open up shop here and put some points on the board.
Well, they need it here, Dan. This is a real critical play for them with 5:14 left in the third quarter.
So you'd expect them to pass the ball here.
I'd say so. They need to make up ground, and they need to do it quick.
Okay, and there's a handoff. And Glenn, as Frank Mayer gets no gain, I guess that's why we're up here and not down on the field.
Absolutely.
Frank Mayer on the carry, but he didn't do too well on that one. Made little gain. Second down.
Ball 5, second and 15.
Well, very little gain, a loss of 5 on the play. Second down and 16, we'll call it a loss of 6. So Archbishop Wood now just not able to do much here. Andy Loro, split end, top left of your screen, number 7. And let's see if McCormick goes to him. McCormick's looking. He throws it up. It's a little out of way for Tom Melman. Good coverage on that play, led by number 3, Chris Young, and his friends.
Well, he overthrew that pass by about 5 yards over Hellman's head.
It'll bring up 3rd and 16, and now this is a tough situation. 3rd down and 16 is a classic situation to look for the big tight end. That's Tommy Melman, number 14, so we'll see. Then again, a counter play like they did with Mayer before on that you know, against the grain counter fullback play. Maybe they'll try that again. We'll see. 3rd down and 16 for Archbishop Wood. They're shy of the 30, their own 30. McCormick wants to put it up. He puts it up for Burke, but underthrows him, and it'll bring up a punting situation.
Bill Burke goes incomplete.
So 4th down.
4th and 16.
And Archbishop Wood will be forced to punt the ball at this point. 4th and 16.
That's got to be a heartbreaking situation, not to be able to capitalize on that series of plays.
In the punt for Archbishop Wood will be number 10, Steve Stegerwalt.
Back deep for the Lancers.
And Mark Diano, in his customary position as deep back, will take this punt from Steve Steigerwald. It's a high snap. McDevitt charges. They don't get it. And it's picked up by Eric Young, and look at him go. Boy, he doesn't need much at all to get started. But good coverage by the Vikings on that particular kickoff. Limits Young to about 7 yards on his return.
And Long.
And we'll see here Eric Young, who shows no fear here on Steigerwald's punt. It's a good one. And Young takes it, cuts back nicely, and gets some good yards. But meets Mr. Wood and company, and they really slam him down there. Okay, just inside the 50 at the 48-yard line of Archbishop Wood, the Lancers will put the ball in play. There's 4.5 minutes and counting here in the third quarter. On first down, Taylor's going for the marbles. He's got Eric Young, and he doesn't hold on, but a good idea.
That was a bomb. That was a good 30-yard, 40, almost 35-yard pass.
First down pass to Eric Young. There's no markers on the play. Good defense by Archbishop Wood on that one.
Long and Purcell.
Purcell back on with Long on coverage. Long got burned on that touchdown pass to Eric Young a few moments ago, but not this time. He rebounded with good, strong coverage. Ball on the 48-yard line of Archbishop Wood. McDevitt once more. They're lined up in the eye with Andrew Brown, the deep back. And there's a handoff right up the middle, and I
Michael
believe
Thomas.
Mike Thomas back in there for a rare carry today. He gets a couple. It'll bring up third and plenty. Mike Hendricks and Paul Kovaleski in on the stop for the Archbishop Wood Viking defense, who have not been embarrassed here today, even though McDevitt's rung their bell for 28 points. But they're still playing well, and there's still a lot of time left in this one. 3:40 remaining in the third quarter, and an entire exciting fourth quarter left on your source for local sports, Comcast Cablevision. Taylor puts it up for Agnew, and he has his big tight end, and he's down near the 20.
Pass complete to Agnew.
Timmy Agnew on another clutch catch.
Taylor to Agnew, they're a devastating pair. They just keep moving the ball whenever they really need to,
And we watch here as Agnew's in motion there at the top of the screen. He runs his pattern, a little slant in. Taylor finds him easily, and Agnew makes the big catch and hangs on. Nice play. First down 10 for the Lancers. We've got 3 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the third quarter. From William Tennant High School in Warminster, PA, as Kevin Green blasts over right tackle for about 4. He can just lean forward and get 4 yards.
he does.
Swarm of Vikings.
Boy, he's a big back. Number 21, there he is. Having maybe not quite as good a year as he had last year, but very valuable to this McDevitt team. Number 21, Kevin Green.
Well, he really helps to establish their ground game, Dan.
Big crowd looking on today. And for the Wood fans, they've had little to cheer about. Bishop McDevitt has been quite a formidable opponent today for the Vikings of Archbishop Wood. It's a second down play. And there's Deano on the counter play. He's got room.
He's
to
cut
the
the
20,
corner.
to the 15, down to the 10. He's down to the 5 and to the 3-yard line.
3-yard line.
Mark Deano.
Stopped by a host of Vikings.
And he's another consideration for All League. But there's a flag down in the very, very ignominious area known as holding or illegal use of the hands. So we'll have to see what this call is. But it will be against McDevitt, and that's a shame. That was a great run.
That really was a good run. He, when he cut that corner, it looked like he was going to get stopped at the yard.
Looked like
the
Glenn Kravitz
scrimmage.
in his prime. They'll bring it back, however. And we'll wait for the referee's call. 2:17 remaining, third quarter. McDevitt 28, Wood 7. But that Wood defense looks like it's starting to tire. It's illegal use of hands, holding. And now you know why they make great runs like that. Just drag the guy down, take the 10-yard penalty, and 20 years from now it'll be it was a great block, but he called it holding.
Yep.
2:08 remaining, third quarter. Second down and 12 now for the Lancers. Taylor wants to pass. He's looking for Young down that right sideline, and it's overthrown. Wise choice by Tommy Taylor. He did not have Eric Young open, so he wisely overthrew it.
Well, that pass was actually thrown out of bounds, Dan. He was covered real well.
You know, looking at Taylor in that huddle, it was a difficult year for him last year, coming in for an injured player and playing somewhat erratically in the playoffs, I think, at best. But this year, he's got the full season under his belt. Coach Pat Manzi has shown confidence in this kid. He's playing a good game today.
That'll mature him. Put him in the ball game.
Into the lurches.
Yep.
All right, Taylor wants to put it up again, and why they're throwing every down with a 21-point lead. As Deano tries to pull it in at the 8, he can't. So that'll bring up a fourth down for Bishop McDevitt, 4th and 12, and with a 21-point lead, Glenn, would they risk a field goal or would they just try and go for it?
Oh, it looks like they're going to go for it, Dan.
What would you do?
Well, I think I'd go for it. It's a commanding lead, and why not go for a few more? They're not in that bad field position that if Wood takes over, they're going to be at the 25, 22.
Which is average field.
Still a long way to go.
Okay, we've got a $1:54 and counting down here in the third quarter. It's 4th down and 12 for McDevitt, and they're passing crazy today. Very pass-oriented. Taylor has a man open. It's Kevin Green. He's got it, and he's going to go in for the touchdown. Yes, he is in.
Green in for the Lancer touchdown.
What a play.
And that's a great play, about 21 yards or so.
And McDevitt is surely establishing themselves in this game.
Kevin Green
And we've got a replay
takes this
here.
play, and we look at Taylor coming back. There's Diano in to block. Taylor in traffic, threads the needle. Kevin Green, and that'll be about a 25-yard touchdown pass. We'll call it unofficially 20 yards. Green from Taylor, 23-yard pass to be exact.
Extra point is good.
Field goal is good.
Lancers 35, Vikings 7.
And Diano makes the kick, and it's now a 35-7 game. And at this juncture, we'll go out on a limb on our post-game show here today on Channel 7. We're going to try and get a look at some of this great offensive talent for Bishop McDevitt, the likes of Tommy Taylor, the quarterback, Timmy Agnew, the sure-handed today anyway, tight end for McDevitt, and I'm sure he'll be kidded about that. And Kevin Green, who just really looks like he's returned to old form. There's a timeout on the field with the score. Bishop McDevitt 35, Archbishop Wood 7. On the Comcast Football Network, we are back. Dan Gerson along with Glenn Kravitz. Mark Diano ready to tee one up. He'll be kicking deep for Bishop McDevitt. So McDevitt really has taken charge here. They had the 21-0 halftime lead. Looked like Wood was going to come back with that touchdown run by Joe Catalano, but 2 consecutive unanswered scores by Bishop McDevitt has blown this one open 35-7. And there's Long, number 32, carrying it up to almost the 40-yard line. So that's good field position. Or rather, Pacherik, the ball carrier there for Archbishop Wood. And they'll set up shop just inside the 40 at about the 38-yard line. Maybe we'll call that 34-yard line. 1st and 10 for Wood, and we're going to see pass here now. As McCormick, the sophomore, goes up deep for Billy Burke. He's got him at the 40-yard line. A tremendous first down call, and the young sophomore, Dan McCormick, threads the needle, and he gets Billy Burke there. And Burke, number 3, who has shown some sure hands today, there he is. He's having a good game for himself. And that's quite a big gain down to the 40. As we look at this one again, McCormick, cool under fire, just lays it in there. Perfect pass, great reception. Taken down by number 10 on defense. That's Peter Merlini for McDevitt. And here's a counter play to Catalano, number 22, taken down by Chris Young and friends. And Antonio Cupid, number 34, laying one of his love taps on Mr. Catalano. And Joe's feeling it.
That was a good stopping play for Chris Young and Tim Kelly, who made the assist on that.
We've got under a minute left here in the third quarter. Archbishop Wood need points, and they need them in a hurry. McCormick going back to pass. He's being rushed. He does not have time to set up, and that'll be ruled an incomplete pass. His arm was coming forward, but that was precariously close to being ruled a fumble.
Absolutely. If his arm wasn't going forward, it would have been all over.
But perhaps we had the better view up here, having the angle, than the folks viewing at home on that particular play.
As the sun sets in the west.
Well, if the sun doesn't set in the west, folks, don't ever pay your rent. It's 45 seconds left here in the third quarter. McDevitt with a commanding lead. It's 3rd and 11 for Wood. And they're going to have to look for that big Tom Melman here. Or one of those split receivers, Andy Lauro. We'll see. There's a bomb going down for Burke. He doesn't get it. Great interference there by number 3. That play was intended for Andy Lauro, number 7. And Chris Young, number 3, and all his friends back there on D, foiling that offensive thrust by Archbishop Wood. It'll bring up 4th and 11, Glenn, and they've got to go for it.
I have to. There's 40 seconds left at the end of this quarter, and, well, let's get down and get dirty.
Well, down and dirty. 40 seconds left, 4th down and 11. We can look for number 3, their clutch receiver here, as McCormick goes back, and that one was really thrown poorly. And it's intercepted by Timothy Kelly, who takes a shot. The hit of the game there by number 64.
Stop will be returned by number 64, Rob Scott.
Rob Scott, and the Rob Scott Express stopping Timmy Kelly on that one. And that one was worth the price of admission. Watch this one, you folks at home. McCormick has a lot of time, just overthrows horribly. Picked off by Tim Kelly, the center fielder, and watch this. Hello there.
He's lucky he held on to that ball.
My word. I wonder if he's got his mechanics at this point, or his faculties. I don't know. I wonder if he's got them.
When you're in high school, I think it's faculty.
Well, he's talking higher anyway. There's a first down carry to Andrew Brown. He sneaks up for about 6 big yards.
Stop by Missoula.
Missoula on the stop. There's number 20, Andy Brown. He's having a good game today. It'll bring up second down and about 4, so that's 6.
Gain of 6, second and 4.
Coach Pat Manzi in the white and yellow cap with the Bishop McDevitt team, talking to his players there. We've come to an end of play here in the third quarter, and McDevitt is running away with this one. The score, the Lancers 35, the Vikings 7. We have fourth quarter action coming up following this timeout.
How long do I have to work on the valve?
20 minutes.
Sam Knight is a repairman, but when he goes to work, it's 100 feet underwater. He's a Navy diver. Some of the best people in their fields are working in the Navy. They're men and women who could put their skills and training to work anywhere, but believe being the best means more when it's done for their country.
Okay, it's all set.
Navy know-how. It's working for America.
Fourth quarter action just underway. Bishop McDevitt against Archbishop Wood. McDevitt has had their way today, no two ways about it. Tom Taylor hands off, and what a hit again. Andrew Brown got the name of that truck, and that is Mike Hendricks, Powowski. And this was also, I felt this one up here, pal.
Oh, so did I. The ground shook a little bit, Dan.
My word, number 77, real friendly looking guy there. That's Mike Hendricks, 6'3", 235, and I'll tell you, I wonder if he has a Class 4 license. That was quite a hit he administered on Andrew Brown, number 20. And funny thing, Brown's still in there. Let's see if he gets the call again. And he does, Andrew Brown, but he comes over the right side this time. Andrew Brown and Pat Manzi's mama didn't raise no fools. They ran him over the other side, but that time, number 98, Mike Hirschman was in on the stop. There's Big Mike, 6'1", 190. And we watch Brown say, I'll try the other side this time. Those guys are a little fierce in there in the middle.
No gain.
Missoula back deep for the Vikings.
Okay, Mark Diano back to kick for Bishop McDevitt. Chris Missoula back deep for Archbishop Wood. He'll field this Diano punt. He gets the snap and puts up a good high kick. And I believe a fair catch is signaled for on the 31-yard line. It's taken by Missoula of Archbishop Wood. And they'll go into play with 10:41 left in the contest. And they're down by a bunch. They need points, and they need them fast.
Well, there's no way they're going to catch up on this one. I just can't see it.
Oh, you don't think so, Glenn?
McDevitt's just too powerful.
Bishop McDevitt has shown today that they are a serious threat, and they are going to be reckoned with in this Catholic League Northern Division. They look like they're for real. And there's a snap, a fumbled snap, but McCormick picks it up. He eludes one tackler, but not the other.
Sacked.
Sacked by number 73, Eddie Harkins.
And it's Eddie Harkins once again in on the stop, number 73. He made a nice play as we'll watch here. McCormick really never had a chance. And 55, a good friend in there, Gregory Brigidi.
Good defensive play. Good defensive play.
Greg, I'm sorry I'm having so much trouble with your name today. I don't know what the story is, but I know your name is Brigidi, and we'll try and get it straight. 10 minutes, 5 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And there's a counterplay to Mayer, and that group got good yardage. Not enough for the first down on 2nd and 17, but a good call. But 30 seconds a shot every running play.
Tim Kelly, number 34, Antonio Cupid.
And Antonio Cupid, number 34, in on the tackle for McDevitt. He's had an active second half.
Sure has.
But I don't know. In the fourth quarter, we sort of have some stars here today for Bishop McDevitt. 3 of them in particular who've had great games. And we'll try to get them on after our game on our Comcast Channel 7 post-game wrap-up, which will follow directly after this contest. We have 9:27 now and counting. McCormick wants to throw. He's got a man out. That's Frank Mayer, but he underthrows Mayer. So it'll bring up 4th down and 6 and another do-or-die situation for the Vikings of Wood.
McCormick's still having a real frustrating day here. He can't establish a ground game. He can't establish a pass game.
Well, you don't have much left when you... But he's got a good kicker. And on comes the punter. 4th down. There's Young. And there's the punter, number 10. That's Steve Steigerwalt. He's been in before. Back deep is Mark Diano for Bishop McDevitt. And I think they're going to kick it away from Diano this time. He is flat out dangerous. A good high kick, nice spiraling job. And the Diano wanted to get that. It's picked up instead by number 22 for McDevitt. That's Francis Lorenzo, and I believe there was
got flags all over the place here.
Fair catch was signaled for, and Glenn?
Well, he got hit. He got hit real hard. Let's see if we can get a replay on that.
And here we go. And he puts up the hand, and pow. And that was, well...
I couldn't catch who it was either, Dan.
Kind of frustrating, I guess. That's the illegal use of the hands against Archbishop Wood. We'll call that fair catch interference, that kind of penalty. And the Lancers now will try and chew up some clock with 9:13 remaining in the game.
That's all they have to do.
Stay turnover free if possible. But then the Archbishop Wood Viking defense is going to be scrapping for that ball. They're going to try and tear it loose somehow from those gifted running backs of McDevitt, the Andrew Browns, the Kevin Greens, and McDevitt's in business. They've got the ball on the 45-yard line of Archbishop Wood. 1st and 10 with 9:13 remaining in the ball game. And McDevitt now has some of their second stringers in there running the ball. On that play, Jake Cullen. That's my kind of name, Jake Cullen. I'll tell you a little bit about Jake. He is a running back. He's 5'9", 165-pound underclassman. He's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore.
Just a kid. Tommy Taylor, however, still all the way for McDevitt at quarterback, showing those leadership qualities. There's Steve Morris, big number 78, and Agnew. Timmy, he's a giant too. Right next to Agnew, lined up on that right side. They're in the wing now. High backfield. And there's a handoff to Jake Cullen again. And Jake carries a bunch of people with him. Not enough for the 1st down. Then we've got a flag down on the play, and the play is slowing down now with concurrent penalty after concurrent penalty.
A lot of penalties and a lot of turnovers this game, Dan. That hurt Wood. That's hurt Archbishop Wood a lot.
Hasn't hurt McDevitt in the least. McDevitt really showing their stuff today for the fairly biased crowd here. And there we have some, and this guy wants to get in the game, I think. He thinks he can run with the ball, and he sees the sophomores going in for McDevitt, and he figures, why not me? Put me in. Okay, 8:19 remaining. Taylor. There's a counter play to Jake Cullen again, and Cullen has some running room, and he gets down close to that 1st down marker, but he doesn't get it, and it'll bring up a 3rd down, and they'll probably have a good 5 or 6.
I don't know if it's that much.
Down by number 58, Dougherty.
Okay, we'll have a 3rd down now, and short yardage, 3rd and 5 for Bishop McDevitt. They're chewing up the clock. 8:09 left. And I wonder why there is a timeout. I suppose that flag down. No. That's right. Cullen was knocked out of bounds, and if the old memory bank served me correctly,
Stops the clock.
It stops the clock. Now I know why I have you color guys up here. Okay, 8:09 left. There's Jake Cullen getting his number called, time in and time out, and he's running hard, and he gets down to about the 30-yard line. Jake Cullen, the sophomore running back, clapping his hands, and very well he should. He's doing the job. As we see Cullen run over this left side here, Michael Thomas threw a great block, number 30, and that gets him down to about the 30. 1st and 10 for Bishop McDevitt on the 30.
That was tremendous second effort. That was real good second effort.
Number 78, Steve Morris. How'd you like to go up against him, Glenn?
I don't think so. At 6'5" and 260 pounds?
Oh, that's
no way.
That's what he's listed at. He's about 7'5", and he goes about 600 pounds. Those listings are always a little inaccurate, a little light, and a little short. I'll bet the scouts are hungering for number 78. Once again, that's Steve Morris.
End of 2 and a play, second and
He's
8.
quite a player. And there he is. Head and shoulders. And if you stood next to Tim Agnew, the average viewer, you almost need a ladder just to shake hands with the guy. And there's Steve Morris, number 78. He's in there now with Keith Young, who's Indiana's position in the slot. And there's Jake Cullen getting his number called again. And Cullen's rambling, and he gets another first down to about the 12-yard line, I believe. Another first down for the Lancers of McDevitt. And here's the replay. Look at Cullen. Just cuts back, goes to the left, misses one tackle, and a host of swarming black jerseys put Mr. Cullen out of bounds, but not before he's got another first. And they're down. They're close to the 10-yard line. 14-yard line, first down and 10. And McDevitt's just putting this one in their hip pocket. If they win it, they'll go to 9-1, 6-1, and first place in the Catholic League North, pending today's other action. Michael Thomas straight up the gut for a couple. And McDevitt's content to just let the clock run down, and why shouldn't they? They've had a great day offensively. They've rolled up 35 points. They're passing like crazy. And an interesting situation, Glenn. 35-7, and Mark Taylor, number 11, the starting, Tommy Taylor, the number 11, the starting QB, is still in there.
Still in.
Aren't you surprised?
I am. I would have thought that he would have taken him out already, Pat Manzi.
Well, Manzi still has him in there. That's a calculated risk, but he's a great coach, and he's coached great teams. He must know what he's doing down there. And there's Jake Cullen.
What a hit.
And hello is sent to him by number 77, Mike Hendricks.
Hit by number 77, Mike Hendricks.
And Mike Hendrick, although his team has fared fairly poorly here today, has played a great game. Cullen says, not this time, pal. And he goes down for a loss. So it'll bring up third down and about 10. Make it 3rd and 11. Ball's at the 15. Okay, and finally McDevitt, I believe, has a new quarterback into the ball game.
The quarterback for the Lancers, number 13, Dan Taylor.
Danny Taylor, I believe that's a younger brother of Tommy Taylor. He's in the game, and he fumbles, but he falls on it. Luckily, Dan Taylor falls on his own fumble, and that'll bring up 4th down, and no sense going for a field goal here. McDevitt will just try, and you see there, and that happens when the guy comes in cold.
Yeah, he just rushed the play a little bit too much.
And the concurrent fumble, but McDevitt was fortunate there to get it back with 4:52, 4:50 and counting here in the ball game. Hope you've enjoyed this action coming your way on your source for local sports, Comcast Cablevision Channel 7. We're, as always, happy to bring it to you. Danny Taylor hands off to Jake Cullen over that left side.
We have a flag on the play.
And there's a flag down on the play, and that'll bring a timeout. 4:29 left in the ball game. We'll see what this call is against. It looks like it's against the Lancers. And it is, so rather than replay the down, Archbishop Wood will just assume control of the pigskin, where they'll take it over at about the 15-yard line, their own 15. Time's running low, though, and it looks like the cart is too far down the road today for the Vikings of Archbishop Wood.
Yep, sure does.
Vikings take over.
And maybe we'll see wholesale changes for both teams at this juncture with 4:29 remaining, 4:29. And it looks like McCormick is still in there. Dan McCormick, the sophomore quarterback, hands off right up the middle. Joe Catalano on the carry, and he gets about a half dozen yards, but why run the ball? I don't understand that.
Well, they need to pass to make up some ground.
Well, they're not passing. We've got 4:13 and counting down now. By the time they get this play off, we'll be right around the 4-minute mark left in the ball game. The score, McDevitt 35 and Wood Siente. So, 2nd down and 5 for Danny McCormick. Pitches out wide to Mayer, and he's got running room. He just needs one block, and he gets it, and he turns that corner, and Frank Mayer taken out of bounds by number 19 for Bishop McDevitt, Chris Day. Touchdown saving tackle.
Absolutely.
Frank Mayer rumbles for about 28 yards on that play. Now
Mayer takes it and runs out to the sideline and cuts the corner real nicely.
Sure does. Look at that cut, precise.
Yep. Watching his feet all the way. Chris Day pulls him down.
And Chris Day pulled him down and then slammed him down after he was down, but nothing called there. 1st down and 10 for Archbishop Wood. They're knocking on McDevitt's door here as Catalano goes right side. They're still running that wishbone, and he's tripped up from behind by number 14 on a good play there by Henry Stuckey. Henry Stuckey in the game. Henry, give you a little bit of background on him. He's a senior, 5'9", 165-pound defensive back. Glad to see some playing time today. And with the lopsided score, Coach Manzi can afford to play his second stringers and his underclassmen.
Well, he needs to rotate them. We'll give him some time on the field.
Okay, on about the 45-yard line or so. Second down and 7 for Wood. And I think
again.
Catalano right up the middle, and he goes for very little yards. Clock's ticking down, 3:05. They'll be under 3 minutes and counting when the next play is revved off with 3rd down and 7 as Billy Burke, number 3, comes back into the game for Archbishop Wood. And I would think he's been their big play man all day.
He's been real good today. He's been real strong.
One of the few bright spots, and a dismal effort today by Wood. And McCormick wants to go for him, but instead he does go for him. But unfortunately that play goes awry, and it'll bring up 4th and 7.
Couldn't hold on to the ball.
And this very well may be the last possession by Archbishop Wood today. A lot of incidental contact on these plays, but virtually nothing's being whistled today.
Well, they both have a lot at stake here, Dan. They're both top teams, and but McDevitt is the powerhouse.
You're not kidding. There's Coach Pat Manzi, and he's feeling pretty good about what has transpired here today at William Tennant High School in Warminster, Pennsylvania, as his Bishop McDevitt Lancers are rolling. There's Frank Mayer busting down to the 40, but he does not get the first down. So Bishop McDevitt will take over on downs with 2:37 remaining here in the ball game, and McDevitt takes over on downs. 35-7 our score, 2:37. The number of ticks left, 157 ticks left in this ball game. And it's been a good one for McDevitt and a not so hot one for Wood. Daniel Taylor, brother of Mark Taylor, Tom Taylor, I believe, in there at QB for Bishop McDevitt. Hands off to Jake Cullen. Nothing fancy since the second team is coming from McDevitt. It's just been Jake and Taylor handing off to each other, playing some fundamental football. Moore and Mazzullo on the stops for Archbishop Wood. And maybe number 13, Danny Taylor, will have a chance to get his uniform dirty today.
They've been really giving Jake Cohen a lot of the ball in this last quarter.
And why not?
Looks like they're trying to develop him.
Well, he is one of the players of the future, number 37, whose number should be called again. He's in the the I-back position. Cohen runs up for 3 or 4 with a $1:55 and counting down here. Archbishop Wood is not making any attempt to stop the clock, so it looks like McDevitt in just a minute and a half will be 9-1, 6-1 in the Catholic League North, where Archbishop Wood, with this defeat, will be 5-3 in the Catholic League North and 5-5 overall.
3rd and 5.
But nonetheless, still a good football team. 3rd and 5 now for McDevitt. And now they're in the pro backfield, split behind Danny Taylor. Taylor wants to hand off, and he does. And that goes no place. Number 7 on the carry, and that's Kevin Blackstock. Now there's a name for you. 5'10", 165-pound sophomore. Number 7.
4th and 6.
4th down and 6 for McDevitt with 1:10 left. All they have to do is send the punter on the field, which surprises me a little bit. But Mark Diano, number 42, does come back into this game for his punting chores, and we're under a minute now, under the last minute of play in the ball game. McDevitt coasting. Mark Diano gets the good snap, and he's aiming for that corner, puts it up, and Mayer grabs it at the 30, or Mazzullo rather, at the 35.
Mazzullo on the carry.
He gets up a few, and with 43 seconds, the clock will start when the ball snapped. 42-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Vikings. And our offensive Comcast players of the game are indeed quarterback Tommy Taylor, number 11. Tight end, number 88,
Comcast television.
Timmy Agnew.
This game will be on tonight at 7 o'clock, Monday, November 11th at 6 p.m., and Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. The correct time of game tonight will be 6 p.m. Tonight, Monday and Tuesday, people in the Wood area receiving Comcast on Channel 7.
Okay, and there we have it. 39 seconds and counting down. The pass intended for Burke was no good. That's Bill Burke getting most of the share of play here in the game. Okay.
What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? Let's give the cheerleaders a big hand.
Okay, as McCormick tries to put it up. And there's a fumble, and I believe McDevitt has it, and they do. And this ball game will end with 27 seconds left. McDevitt gets it back, and big play there for McDevitt with 27 seconds left, and they've just about wrapped this one up. 27 seconds left in the game, and Glenn, your impression of the Philadelphia Catholic League Northern Division?
Well, I'll tell you, Bishop McDevitt is going to be a force to be reckoned with for the rest of the year. I think that with the record that the Vikings have, they still couldn't keep up with them.
Okay. Just remember one last time, Monday the 11th, Tuesday the 12th, this game will be rebroadcast at 7 p.m. on your source for local sports, Comcast Cablevision. And yes, Dan Taylor indeed wants to get his uniform dirty as he keeps it. And this should do it as we have 17 seconds and ticking down here. Bishop McDevitt looking good today. As we come down to the last 10 seconds of the game, there really will be no need to snap another ball. And although this was a scoreless fourth period, and there it is, the game is over. And the winner, Bishop McDevitt, over Archbishop Wood by a score of 35-7. At halftime, it was 21-0 in favor of McDevitt, and they basically had things their own way, scoring 14 points here in the second half on an 21-yard pass for Eric Young from Tom Taylor, and then a 23-yard pass, Kevin Green from Taylor, and that's 4 touchdown passes today for Tommy Taylor, and he'll be one of our guests in our post-game show coming up soon here on Channel 7. So there you have it. Bishop McDevitt 35, Archbishop Wood 7. McDevitt rolls to 9-1, 6-1 in the conference. We'll be back with a wrap following this timeout.
Jim Barnes has more than enough of the right stuff to be a top pilot. With experience that any airline would welcome aboard, Jim flies for the Navy. Some of the best people in their fields work in the Navy. They're Navy career men and women who believe being the best at what they do means a little bit more when it's done for their country. Navy know-how. It's working for America.
We're back on the field at William Tennant High School in Warminster, Pennsylvania, where Bishop McDevitt today really showed that they are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the Catholic League North this year. 3 very clutch players today for McDevitt. This is Tim Agnew, the big tight end who caught a couple touchdown passes today. And Tim, after that tough hands game against Ryan, it had to feel good for you to come back and get really big catches today.
Well, it felt great. I've been dropping a lot of passes all year. Today was a big game for me.
Do you have any different game plan with a tough game against Ryan, even though you won? Did you think that Coach Manzi and Tommy were going to come for you today?
Well, they haven't stopped all year. They keep coming back to me.
Well, this young man here is one of the reasons why this team is steamrolling. We'd like to call in quarterback Tommy Taylor right now for a second. And Tom, last year you weren't the starter for the entire season. You were the, more or less the backup, and you came in the playoffs. You tried to do basically your best, and you have a full season under your belt this year. How much do you think that's helped you?
I think it's helped me a lot. I'm glad Coach Manzi gave me a shot last year. Really helped me getting some experience under my belt.
And what's your role on this team other than the signal caller?
Just keep everybody together. Just try to run the offense.
You feel comfortable with it?
Yes, I do.
With a receiver like Tim Agnew and a running back like Kevin Green. And Kevin, if you can come in here for a second. Kevin Green showing that second team all Catholic League form that he earned last year. We noticed you've been blocking a lot this year, but today you got some good blocks, and you really showed why number 21 is the stuff that great backs are made out of.
Yeah, well, fullback like Mike Thomas and offensive line, they've really been blocking good all year. Mike Thomas went down last week, so Coach Manzi asked me to play fullback, so I said okay. It was okay. It was a new experience for me. Didn't get the ball as much as I did before, but it was fun. I just wanted to do what I can to help the team win.
Well, that's a good attitude, of course. And how do you feel? You're kind of a big shot running back, and you're really a good runner. How does it feel knowing you've got a block for somebody like Andrew Brown or Michael Thomas?
Well, it's just fun, football is just a sport I like. You know, I get a lot of recognition sometimes, but I like to let other people get some credit sometimes because, you know, they deserve it. They block for me, so hey, I can block for them too also.
Well, these three guys behind me are the reason that Bishop McDevitt is 9-1 overall and 6-1 in a tough Catholic league. And in a moment, we'll have a short chat with Coach Pat Manzi of Bishop McDevitt. Me now is Coach Pat Manzi of the Lancers of Bishop McDevitt. And Pat, kind of an easy win today, but I don't really think.
You guys call them easy.
35.
Well, the score does it, but it's a physical football game. We have some kids that are nicks and beat up, and Catholic League is not easy. Sometimes scores may look like, well, that was a, but Wood hit us, you know, where we felt they would, and they came back in the second half and got a lot of momentum, and who knows? Had we not put on that drive, that score might have been that way.
Yeah, right.
So,
it looked like at the time
they're not easy, and it wasn't easy.
It looked like at the time it could have been whittled down to 21-14, which
real
would have been a
quick.
different game.
Yes, sir.
Who do you have coming up?
We have Bishop Egan, a team whose record doesn't indicate their ability, and they're going to be really tough. And hey, it's Catholic League football.
6-1. We're very familiar with Catholic League football. 6-1. How are you going to prepare for the big haul? You've knocked Ryan out of the way this year. Who does your opponent look like in the playoffs?
No idea at this point. There's still actually 6 teams right at this when I'm talking to you are still alive in the playoffs. 6.
And
well, you have Ryan, North, Judge, Doherty, Wood, and ourselves. And everyone still has a chance in the playoffs.
So in other words, no one refuses to lay down in this division.
No one's out yet. So, well, that's the intensity. People don't understand the Catholic League. Sometimes when you see games outside the Catholic League, sometimes people judge the scores. But when you're in the league itself, in a league game, it takes on a whole nother dimension.
After getting knocked out by Ryan in the playoffs last year, I think it was a 13-6 game or 14-6. Right. There has to be some kind of satisfaction for you in leading this team to the quality of play that they've demonstrated this year.
Well, I think the coaching staff has done a great job with them, and the success we've had at Bishop McDevitt is because we have an outstanding coaching staff. And then the players, hey, the players play the game. You know, we're on the sidelines jumping up and down, but they play, and they've gotten here because they've earned it. You know, they've put the time and the work in to get here.
Why did you stay so long with quarterback Tommy Taylor when the score was obviously looked like it was out of reach?
It's one of those things where it wasn't even conscious. I was looking around, I realized, you know, Tommy, and Danny should have been in there, and that was my fault. There was no reason for it other than I didn't put him in time. Wow. Danny should have been there earlier because he's going to follow in his brother's footsteps, and that was simply me not being conscious sometimes. That wasn't a plan or any reason for it now.
How do your chances stack up as the winners of the Catholic League this year?
Well, I don't know. Right now, you know, I think we have a good chance as any, but like I said, you've all been around, and we've all been in those playoffs. We've been in second place, third place, and fourth place, and, you know, it's so difficult. Right now, we got Bishop Egan, and then when the season's finally over, we wipe the slate clean like it never happened and put it in the record books, and new season. It doesn't matter what we did.
Well, good luck today, Coach. You really put on a good show.
Thank you.
That's Coach Pat Manzi of the Lancers of Bishop McDevitt, who basically had things their own way today. They led 21-0 at halftime, featuring an aerial attack between Tommy Taylor, the quarterback, Timmy Agnew, the tight end. Kevin Green took a touchdown pass, and it was just full steam ahead for the Lancers of McDevitt. With this win, they go to 6-1 in the Catholic League. They're going to be hard to be headed at this point. Wood falls to 5-3 in the Catholic League North. So there you have it for Glenn Kravitz and the entire Channel 7 sports team. This is Dan Gerson saying thanks for watching. Once again, the final score, Bishop McDevitt 35, Archbishop Wood 7. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a good day.